Beauty. I've called a lot of anime beautiful, but nothing has come even close to the beautiful experience that Violet Evergarden gave me. Before watching Violet Evergarden, I was on a journey to find an anime that could make me cry. The last time I cried at any piece of media was when Ash released Butterfree in Pokemon, which I watched when I was 7. But Violet Evergarden was the end of this journey, and what an ending it was. If you don't know, Violet Evergarden is a 13-episode long series, not including the movies, about a girl who was raised into war. She has no memory of her parents, and for reasons that haven't been explained in the anime, she's extremely strong. Because of this, she's considered not a human, but a weapon to everyone except for one man, Gilbert, Violet's major. Gilbert thinks that it's unfair for a 12-year-old girl to be used for war, and wants her to live a normal life. He teaches her to read and write, but one thing he can't teach is understanding emotions. Violet is like a robot. She follows orders without a second thought or shred of emotion. Unfortunately, during the war's final battle, the enemy blows up their own building as a last-ditch effort to take the remaining soldiers down with them. Violet and Gilbert are caught in this explosion, and Violet tries to escape with Gilbert, losing both of her arms in the process. But Gilbert can't move, and tells her to live her best life and that he loves her, before he pushes her out of the way as the building collapses. After the war, Violet sets out on a journey to understand the Major's last words. To do this, she becomes an auto-memoir doll, a person who writes letters for people that convey their customers' emotions. On this journey, she becomes independent and hears the stories of many people across the world. Now, you might be thinking, okay James, that's cool and all, but what makes this the perfect anime, and why did it make you cry? Well, if you sit down and stop conveniently interrupting my story so I can easily transition to the next topic, I'll explain it to you. First of all, Violet Evergarden looks incredible. The animation is on another level, and every character and scene looks, well, beautiful. Kyoto Animation absolutely hit this one out of the park. The music in this anime is also incredible and triples the impact of its emotional moments. The story is one of the best in its genre, with a perfectly fleshed out main character and world. It's incredibly unique and interesting, each person she meets has a moving story that impacts Violet and helps her grow. I honestly can't put into words how much I love this anime, because I'll never be able to do it any justice. But what about it could move me to tears? You see, when it comes to sad stories, I don't usually cry. I might get sad and my eyes might water a bit, but no tears. And honestly, I didn't think Violet Evergarden would do the trick, but it grabbed me by the throat and shot me in the face with 3 of the most emotional episodes I've ever watched in my life. These episodes being 9, 10, and 11. Episode 9 is about Violet accepting Gilbert's death and reflecting on all the lives she's taken during the war. She's overwhelmed by all this and even tries to harm herself by choking herself out. The 10th episode is considered the most depressing in the series, which follows a girl named Anne whose mother is on her deathbed. All Anne wants is for her dying mother to play with her, but instead her mother's last moments are spent with others, including Violet. Anne desperately wants to know what could possibly be so important to her mom that she would spend her last moments with complete strangers and not her own daughter. It is later revealed that Anne's mother was writing letters that were to be sent to Anne on each of her birthdays to remind her how much her mother loved her and wished she could spend more time with Anne. At this point, everyone around me is dropping like flies. So many people I heard talking about this episode said they cried, but though I might have been sad, there still was no tears. At this point, I thought this was it. Another anime that couldn't make me cry. I mean, I really liked it, but I just couldn't see how there could possibly be an episode more emotional than this one. And then, I watched the 11th episode. Now, I don't know if it was because there were 2 incredibly sad episodes before this one or what, but this episode struck a chord with me. In this episode, Violet writes a letter to a soldier named Aiden, who she needs to save from some rebels before they can write the letter. The client was fatally wounded by gunshot from these rebels, but despite this insists Violet writes the letter. The letter were to be sent to Aiden's parents and a girl named Maria, who he was going to be in a relationship with when he returned. But unfortunately, he never came back alive. Their relationship was over before it had the chance to begin. And this episode made me cry. It was only one tear, but that single tear was enough. Now, I don't know what exactly made me cry. I think it's probably since I'm a pretty big romantic and really hate hearing stories about loss and relationships being cut short. Whatever it was, this episode was the one that finally ended my journey. And ever since, Violet Evergarden has been my favorite anime by a long shot. Nothing can come close to this masterpiece. As I said, I've called a lot of anime beautiful, but Violet Evergarden is beauty itself. And I hold dear to my heart and has impacted me on so many levels that I don't have to have time to talk about it all. If you haven't watched this anime and have for some reason finished this whole video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, sorry for spoiling everything. And third of all, I still recommend watching this anime. And to me, Violet Evergarden will always be the perfect anime. Thanks for watching.